What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with the overall markets and talk about why the market might be looking for a potential pullback just temporarily and why it's going to likely be the final pullback for the year that's coming, in my opinion. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So, as far as the market's going, we basically saw this nice rally on SPY for the last couple of days. And we did this because the market has been pricing in the government shutdown. Yesterday, I mentioned the government shutdown may not be fully priced in because the market went higher today. But now I think that we could safely say that most of that's priced in by now. And typically, when you have big events, it kind of acts like a buy the rumor, sell the news sort of event, meaning that we've been pumping so hard because of the government shutdown ending news. And now that is mostly priced in. And I think it's almost fully priced in by now. So once the news comes out, either maybe today or tomorrow, if we do truly see the government shutdown end, that could be fully priced in. The market might look for a pullback as a result because now we're showing some weakness. This could also be a big pivot on SPY from this rising wedge. So I just want to make it very clear we're looking at 682 to hold. If not, we're looking for 677 on SPY. And if that fails us, there's that big gap to fill at 672. There's a big gap all the way down on SPY, all the way down to 672. Now, if we continue to fall, I see this as nothing more than a buying opportunity. We're going to be once again buying the dips for an end of the year squeeze. For now, this could be a big opportunity, and I think that we're going to likely come down to fill this gap. I think that would be very, very healthy. I lean more in that direction, but we'll see just to be safe. On the QQQ, we have a rising wedge. We've got a rejection. So far, we're watching to see if 617 holds. If 617 does not hold, there's a gap to fill back down to 612, and we'll see what happens after that. I'd like to see us fill that gap and also just know that in case we do dump, it is nothing more than a buying opportunity. And I see this as a big chance for it, a buying opportunity for the end of the year squeeze. Why are we dipping? Once again, most of the news has been priced in with the government shutdown ending now. And now I think at this point, getting the pullback would be very, very healthy. And that would be another buying opportunity for the end of the year. For the IWM, we're looking for 243.5 as our main support. If it does not hold, we're looking for 241. There's also a gap down here, so the odds favor the downwards direction. On the daily time frame, there's also a gap to fill down here, so we are favoring 241 very soon on the IWM. On ES, there's a gap to fill down here at 67.64. If we lose 68.36, I think we favor that gap fill back down towards the mid 6700s for a temporary pullback move. On NQ, we're also favoring a pullback. We have a double top rejection. We need to hold above 25,600. If not, we're looking for the support at 25,400. If that fails us, we're looking for 25,200 next for a pullback. Bitcoin has a slanted head and shoulders like pattern, favoring 101,000, basically 100,000 flat. Tesla's getting a rejection as well. We need to get back above 440. If not, it's going to be favoring 420 to 422, where the 200 EMA happens to be for some more downside. On Nvda, we basically have a lower high rejection. There's a gap to fill back down to 188, so be prepared for some downside. Appl rejected. It's kind of like in the middle right here. It needs to hold above 275. If not, we're looking for 271. And also on the daily time frame, there's a gap all the way down here. It actually has a couple of gaps down here to fill. We're going to see if we get lucky and we get some of those gap fills before we see this thing squeeze to finish off the year. For Palantir, there's a gap to fill back down to 177, so I anticipate some downside. AMD pumped quite a bit. It's still looking very bullish after the bullish news that Lisa Su announced. We could be favoring 260 still. There's no sign of a pivot yet on AMD. It's still very resilient. On Coinbase, we're favoring 297. We're going to see if that holds. If not, 295 is coming. On Amazon, we could continue to fall back down towards 242, and we'll see if we bounce or not. On Meta, we could be dipping back down towards 605 to 600. We'll see if we bounce. On Google, we could be dipping to fill this gap back down to 281. And Microsoft could be dipping back down towards 497. We'll see if we bounce. The VIX is also breaking out right here. If we break 18.06, there's a gap to fill back up to 19. I think it's going to fill that gap soon. I think the market's about to see a rug pull. And I think that's, like I said before, the government shutdown ending news is priced in now. And I think that we're about to pivot and start filling some gaps and SPY in the QQQ back down towards these levels. It may take another week or a couple of days to get back down there, but that's what I think is the most likely possibility now as we're starting to show some weakness. We'll see what happens with the government shutdown news, and we'll be very, very patient nonetheless. Thank you for listening. And just know one last time that I'm not a perma bear. I'm simply saying that this is going to be the final pullback for the year, in my opinion, because then we're going to likely see a massive squeeze to finish off November and December. That's where I still stand. So we're likely going to get another pullback here. We already pumped so much on SPY, we're due for it. And I would like to see these gaps get filled. So watch that very closely. Thank you for listening, guys, and peace out.